If you're over 60, every stretch, every walk, even the exercises you think are helping, could actually be doing harm if you're not careful. I know that might sound surprising. After all, staying active is one of the best ways to stay healthy, right? Well, yes and no. As a heart-focused physician who works with older adults every day, I've seen something troubling. Many seniors are unknowingly engaging in workouts that put hidden strain on their hearts. These aren't extreme athletes or couch potatoes. They're everyday people doing common routines. And still, they end up with high blood pressure spikes, irregular heartbeats, and in some cases, ER visits that could have been prevented. It's not because they're lazy. It's because they were never warned that some exercises just aren't made for aging hearts. That's why today, I need you to hear me out. I'm going to walk you through 5 specific types of exercise that can silently damage your cardiovascular system, and what safer, smarter alternatives you should be doing instead. This isn't about quitting movement, it's about choosing wisely. So if you care about your independence, your energy, and your heart health, stay with me. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from today? Drop a quick comment below and feel free to ask any questions you might have. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video from Be Healthy Seniors, your go-to source for trusted health advice. If you're watching right now, let me know you're here. Type 1 in the comments if this message speaks to you, or 0 if you're still deciding. Number 1. High-intensity interval training, also known as HIIT, and other forms of overexertion. These workouts may look impressive on paper, but for aging hearts, they often do more harm than good. See, after age 60, your heart simply doesn't recover the same way it used to. The vessels are stiffer, the valves may be narrower, and the heart muscle itself is more sensitive to pressure. That doesn't mean you're fragile, it means your body is evolving, and it needs a new kind of care. HIIT workouts, those popular fast-paced routines that spike your heart rate in short bursts, might be effective for younger bodies. But for seniors, they can quietly trigger a dangerous chain of events. When you push your heart too hard, too fast, especially with short rest intervals, you're forcing it into a state of strain it may not be equipped to handle anymore. I've seen it firsthand in the clinic. Seniors come in saying, "I just wanted to push myself a little." But they leave with symptoms like dizziness, irregular pulses, or elevated blood pressure. Often, they don't even realize the damage they're doing because it builds slowly, internally, until one day it becomes a crisis. What's most heartbreaking is the intention behind these choices. Most older adults push harder because they want to stay independent, feel youthful, or keep up with younger family members. But more isn't always better, especially when your heart is involved. Let's get one thing straight. Movement is essential, but the right kind of movement can protect your heart for decades to come. Instead of explosive workouts that leave you breathless, choose rhythmic, restorative exercise. Daily walks, water aerobics, slow biking, or Tai Chi, all of these improve cardiovascular health without overstressing your system. In your 60s, 70s, and beyond, the goal is not to beat your body into submission. The goal is to support it, gently, consistently, and wisely. That's real strength. That's what keeps your heart strong and your life steady. And here's something you won't hear in most gyms. Sustainability is the new power. You don't have to keep up with anyone. You just need to keep going at your pace with your health in mind. So please, if you're currently doing high-intensity routines, take a step back and reconsider. Your heart's been beating for you every day for over 6 decades. It's time to return the favor, with care. Now let's move to the next exercise mistake I see far too often, and this one might be happening right in your living room. Number 2, core crunches and heavy lifting, 2 movements that sound like strength builders, but for aging hearts, they can quickly become silent threats. There's a widespread belief that strong muscles equal a strong life. And that's not wrong. Muscle mass helps with balance, stability, and independence. But the problem isn't the goal, it's the method. When seniors push through intense core workouts or lift heavy weights without understanding what's happening inside their bodies, the results can be unexpectedly dangerous. Let me explain. Every time you perform a sit-up, crunch, or strain to lift something heavy, especially while holding your breath, you're creating powerful internal pressure. It's called the Valsalva maneuver. That pressure doesn't just stay in your belly or core. It pushes against your chest cavity, spikes your blood pressure, and forces your heart to work much harder in a very short time. For an aging heart, already contending with stiff arteries, plaque buildup, or irregular rhythms, this sudden surge can trigger dizziness, chest pain, or even cause fainting. I've had patients land in the emergency room, not because they were careless, but because they were unknowingly working against the very organ they were trying to protect. And the truth is, most of them had good intentions. They wanted to stay fit, fight frailty, or impress their grandkids with a little strength. But what they didn't realize is that the heart after 60 requires different rules. So no, you don't need to ditch strength training altogether. In fact, resistance training is still one of the best things you can do to preserve bone density and mobility. The trick is modifying how you do it. Swap the barbell for resistance bands. Replace crunches with safer core stabilizers like seated marches or pelvic tilts. And always focus on breathing through the movement. Your heart doesn't care how much weight you lift. It cares how you treat it while you do. Controlled, steady motion protects your blood pressure, maintains healthy rhythm, and keeps your heart in sync with your efforts. So please, if you're still straining through ob workouts or lifting too much too fast, take a breath. Literally. Work smarter, not harder, because a healthy heart isn't built on pressure, it's built on balance. Let's keep going, because the next risk doesn't come from effort at all. It comes from the air around you. Number 3. Exercising in extreme temperatures, the silent heart stressor hiding in plain sight. We often say, just get moving. But for seniors, when and where you move can matter just as much as how. I've met countless older adults who lace up their shoes with the best intentions, heading out for a morning walk in the winter chill, or a late afternoon stroll in summer heat. But what many don't realize is that the weather outside might be quietly overworking their heart before they've taken a single step. Here's why. As we age, our body's ability to regulate internal temperature weakens. In cold weather, your blood vessels tighten to preserve body heat. This constriction raises blood pressure, sometimes dramatically, putting extra strain on a heart that might already be battling plaque buildup or stiffened arteries. That brisk walk, it can quickly become a cardiovascular challenge. Now flip the season. In hot weather, your blood vessels do the opposite. They widen to try and cool you down. But in doing so, your heart has to pump faster. Add in the fact that hydration levels drop more rapidly with age. And now you have a perfect storm. Elevated heart rate, thinner blood volume, and a body struggling to balance it all. I've seen it firsthand. Patients collapsing after a walk in summer heat, or feeling dizzy and short of breath just minutes into a winter outing. These aren't just one-off incidents. They're your body's red flags. The fix isn't to stop exercising. It's to get smarter about it. Choose indoor activities in climate-controlled spaces when temperatures are too extreme. That could mean walking at the mall, joining a low-impact gym class, or simply doing some stretching near a sunny window. If you must be outdoors, layer appropriately, take breaks often, and hydrate generously. Even mild dehydration can tip the scales on your heart's ability to perform safely. Most importantly, tune in to what your body is telling you. Subtle changes in breathing, temperature, or energy can be early signs that your heart is working harder than it should. Don't wait for it to scream. Listen when it whispers. Remember, movement should be healing, not hazardous. And sometimes, protecting your heart means staying inside when nature gets too harsh. Let's move on, because the next mistake involves a type of movement that looks empowering, but can be chaos for your body's internal rhythm. Point number 4. Jumping, rapid movements, and sudden direction changes. when fast turns into fragile. There's something invigorating about movement that's quick and bold. It feels like reclaiming youth, like proving age hasn't slowed us down. But for those of us over 60, speed can sometimes be more foe than friend. Exercises like jumping jacks, stair sprints, burpees, and high-speed aerobics may seem energizing on the surface. But beneath that momentum lies a risk many seniors don't see until it's too late. I've had patients, strong, vibrant seniors, who joined fitness classes or followed online routines with every good intention. But a few days later, they show up in my office with stories of heart palpitations, sudden dizziness, or unexplained falls. This isn't about lack of motivation. It's about the realities of aging physiology. As we get older, our nervous system slows down, reflexes take longer, balance becomes less stable, and our blood vessels, once elastic and adaptable, begin to stiffen. When you suddenly leap, twist, or shift directions, your body scrambles to keep up. Blood pressure can rise erratically, your heart may beat out of sync, and oxygen delivery lags behind. These aren't just muscle demands, they're full-body stress tests, and the older heart isn't designed to play catch-up. Even more concerning, these movements can overwhelm your coordination, increasing the risk of missteps or falls, especially for those dealing with joint pain, arthritis, or early cardiovascular conditions. What feels like a healthy challenge might actually be destabilizing your system. And yet, many older adults jump into fast-paced routines out of hope. Hope to stay young, hope to stay independent. But here's the truth. Real strength after 60 isn't measured by speed or sweat. It's measured by balance, control, and protection. The most powerful exercises at this age are often the ones that look the most gentle: Tai Chi, water-based movement, light resistance bands, stretching. These forms of movement may not look flashy, but they nurture stability, improve circulation, and calm the heart rather than shock it. So next time you feel the urge to push harder, ask yourself, am I moving to prove something? Or am I moving to preserve something? Because at this stage in life, preserving your heart, your strength, and your peace, that's what real power looks like. And we're not done yet. Because even if your movements are safe, the timing of your workouts can still quietly sabotage your heart's ability to recover. Point number 5. Late-night workouts, the well-meaning habit that may be quietly wearing out your heart. At first glance, exercising in the evening feels like a smart choice. The day is behind you, the house is calm, and you finally have a moment to yourself. It seems harmless, even productive. But if you're over 60, this convenient routine could be doing your heart more harm than good. Here's why. Your body follows a natural rhythm, your circadian clock, that regulates everything from energy levels to hormone release. And after decades of supporting your every step, your heart depends on this rhythm more than ever. But when you engage in physical activity too close to bedtime, even a brisk walk or a light jog, you're sending your body a mixed message. You see, even light exercise activates the sympathetic nervous system. Your heart rate rises, adrenaline kicks in, and your body gears up for action, just when it should be preparing for deep rest. This shift doesn't just delay sleep, it interferes with the most critical stage of your body's overnight healing: deep restorative sleep. This is when your blood pressure resets, your inflammation lowers, your insulin sensitivity stabilizes, and your heart tissue begins to repair. Skip this window often enough, and the toll begins to add up. Poor sleep has been directly linked to higher cardiovascular risk, increased blood sugar levels, and a greater likelihood of arrhythmias and hypertension in older adults. The irony: many seniors exercise late to boost health, but end up undermining their heart's most vital recovery time. So what's the solution? Timing. Shift your exercise to earlier in the day, morning or early afternoon ideally. This helps regulate your energy, improves sleep quality at night, and supports more balanced cardiovascular health overall. And if evenings are the only time you can move, focus on calming, Parasympathetic-friendly activities like gentle stretching, deep breathing, or slow yoga. Let your evenings be a time to wind down, not wind up. Give your heart the peace it deserves at night, and it will reward you with resilience during the day. Because after 60, recovery isn't optional, it's the foundation of every step forward. And your heart, more than anything, needs that time to heal. Let's talk next about the small, often ignored habit that can quietly build up heart damage over time, even when you're doing everything else right. 6. A message from one heart to another, because sometimes the most powerful medicine isn't advice but reflection. If you're still with me, thank you. It means you're not just interested in adding years to your life, but life to your years. And now, I want to speak not as a doctor, not as a health educator, but as someone who has spent decades walking beside people in their most fragile moments. I've watched strong, spirited seniors face health crises that didn't come from neglect, but from small, unnoticed habits that added up over time. And do you know what I've heard again and again? I didn't think it was a big deal. That one sentence has stayed with me through every patient room and every hard conversation. Because after 60, almost everything is a big deal. What you eat, how you sleep, the way you handle stress, these aren't just lifestyle choices anymore. They're the foundation of your next chapter. Your heart has been working for you beat after beat for decades. It doesn't ask for applause or perfection. It asks for awareness, for kindness, for you to listen when it speaks in whispers, whether that's fatigue, shortness of breath, or simply the sense that something isn't quite right. You don't have to chase youth. You don't need to prove anything by pushing past your limits or forcing your body into punishing routines. What you need now is wisdom, compassion, sustainability. There's no trophy for overdoing it, but there is deep reward in waking up with a steady rhythm in your chest and peace in your mind. True strength is knowing when to slow down, when to pause, when to rest, not because you're giving up, but because you're giving your body what it needs to continue. Choose movement that restores, food that nourishes, routines that heal. That is the art of aging with power, not defiance but grace. And remember, doing nothing can also be a danger. Skipping movement, ignoring sleep, brushing off symptoms, these silent choices often echo the loudest in the body later. Your heart isn't just an organ, it's your lifelong partner. After everything it's done for you, it's asking, just once in a while, for you to listen back. Not with fear, but with love. Because you're not too old, it's not too late. And your next step, made with care, might just be the most important one yet. Not to fear your heart, but to finally honor it. The 5 exercises we discussed today, they aren't wrong. They just don't belong in a body that has earned the right to move differently. What once challenged your muscles might now stress your heart. What once made you feel strong could now leave you drained. And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. Your path forward doesn't need to be paved with sweat, struggle, or speed. It needs to be guided by intention, breath, and balance. The strongest people I know over 60 aren't the ones pushing their limits. They're the ones respecting them. And in that quiet respect, they discover more energy, more freedom, and more peace. Let this be the moment you stop measuring your health by how hard you push, and start measuring it by how well you listen. To your body, to your breath, to your heart. Because every small decision, taking a gentler walk, skipping a risky workout, getting better sleep, adds something more meaningful than just years to your life. It adds life to your years. And if no one said this to you recently, let me be the first. You are not behind. You are not too old. And it is absolutely not too late. Your next step can be softer and still powerful. It can be smaller and still life-changing. So take that next step, not with fear but with trust, not with guilt but with grace. Protecting your heart is not about doing less. It's about doing what matters. Now I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to change starting today? What small shift are you ready to make to protect your heart and your future? Drop a comment below and let's grow together. If you found something valuable in this message, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone you care about. There's strength in community, and your voice might be the encouragement someone else needs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring for your body with compassion. And here's to aging, not with fear but with purpose. Here's to living life on your own terms.